to another episode of From the Shadows. And as always, guys, if you are enjoying the series, please do drop a like on the video. Now, in our last episode, we had already wrapped it up at that point, but we finished off our season and wrapped up ourselves the title in the third tier of French football. And of course, that meant promotion. Now, I was a little bit unsure on the way things were going to work when we got ourselves into Ligue 2. And basically, we turned professional automatically because it is a requirement of this league, which means that a few players were given contracts, and there are still a few players on non-contracts, but my guess is that they're not allowed to play. So basically what's happening, and I'm waiting for any of them to come to me and complain about no first team football, then I'll just tell them to go bugger themselves, basically, and they can leave. There have been a few changes, there's been a lot of changes, basically. A lot of players, of course, have left, but I've also managed to bring in quite a few. Now, a few things that are good that have happened. Firstly, the scouting range was first upgraded to Central Europe, and then it was upgraded to all of Europe, which was quite weird. I've never seen it do it like twice like that. But I think it's because the first one was done before the sort of flip over into the new season. And then the moment that happened, they upgraded it again. So I've been using that to the fullest. The first thing I did basically was go and hire some more scouts because we were only allowed 1 and now we're allowed 6. We've got 3 at the moment and I'm tempted to get a few more. But the point is, one of my scouts actually brought me 2 excellent players in his opening scouting report. I was man, and you're gonna like the name of one of them, believe me. So basically, some bad news. Well, actually, we'll come on to that when we talk about transfers in a minute. But basically, we've been playing as many pre-season friendlies as we can against some big clubs, against some small clubs, against our reserve team quite a fair bit, just to try and get match fitness up because we are professional now, so we want to make sure that that's as good as it can possibly be. Now, the first big drawback of this new season, firstly, we're going to get a decent amount of money. We're going to get about 3.7 million in television money this season. So it's given us a little bit more to try and stay afloat, essentially. I've negotiated a few. I've released people like King Keller and got him off the wage bill for he was on like £4,500 a week. So he's gone. A couple of people that we weren't going to be playing have basically gone. We did manage to get Jason Boillion on loan for a second season. So he's still with the club. They wanted 600,000 for him, so we couldn't buy him. We've not actually bought any players. We've, again, all free transfers, but that's going to be the way we're going to be doing it for the moment. Until such time as we're in a more stable financial position, we cannot afford to be spending money on players. We need to be just browsing the transfer market. But what I've tried to do this time, instead of just I've tried to bring in younger players from the free agent pile, ones that have actually got a bit of room to improve, and with some game time could become world beaters that we can then sell on to try and sort the finances out of the club, basically. That's the way I'm looking at it now. But the main downside that I've noticed, and this is going to be a real problem basically, is the fact that the board have come to me and said, right, here are your season expectations, and my 3 choices for the season expectations. Bear in mind, we've just been promoted from the third tier from a semi-professional football into professional football, and we've got probably one of the lowest wage budgets in the league. Oh, come on, how could we not? And the expectations were either mid-table, top half, or promotion. Like, what? How is that even vaguely realistic? Like, our preview of the season is expecting us to be finishing just outside the relegation zone. So why on earth are the board expecting me to suddenly get mid-table? I'll be really fucking annoyed if we get the sack because we don't finish in mid-table, but we survive. Why the hell would we be expected to get mid-table if we... It just makes no bloody sense. And I had to go with that in the end because they were offering no more money for any of the other steps. Not that I would have taken them anyway, but it's just really annoying. So we're going to have to pull on some extra stuff. But the fact is, if you look at some of our friendlies, we beat Nice. We've won some quite big games in here. We beat Perugia 3-0. There was a couple of friendlies as well before then where we beat another big team and I can't remember who it was. Also, a draw there with Genk. So yeah, not too bad. The defeat against Mechelen was a weird one. But all in all, fairly solid. So now let's get into the thing you're really here to see, and this is the bit I'm most excited to show you. So, as you can see, everything here is free. Now, you'll be noticing down, let's just start with the outs. Katoomba, obviously, Polycarp. Now, this was an annoying one. Basically, what happened was, Marcone wanted a new contract last season, so I gave him one. Unfortunately, it was a non-contract one, and when it came round to the start of the new season, as I was about to go and offer the new contracts for the players that were on that, he'd already agreed a deal with Sedan, which is a massive shame. I have brought in a new goalkeeper though, so don't worry about that. Kincaid's gone, obviously, Konate, Diakabi, who wasn't going to play, Balde's gone, Abudazine, Sanaya, Bongongui. I did try to get him. I just didn't think there was going to be a place for him in our system. Wazin did leave, but as you can see, he's come back again. As the same applies to Medellin. They wouldn't accept terms, but then I released them and I was able to re-sign them on less than what I was offering them before, which was really strange. Marquez has gone. I also released a load of youth players that were crap and were on £50 a week to sort of earn us another £600-700 a week, because I'll explain in a minute, actually. So first things first. because we had a bit more of a wider scouting grid, I was able to bring in some players from other countries this time. Admittedly, the first few I did sign all from France still, because my scouts were still a bit busy. So the first one I brought in was one I actually went after last year, and this is Quinton Pereira. He's 23 years old. He looks pretty decent. He's an advanced playmaker. He's going to play in that sort of top role. He's 2.5 stars at the moment, with a little bit of potential to grow a little bit more. You know, a lot of them are on 1-year deals, but I'm hoping to extend them at the moment. He's not on a huge amount of money for us, so I felt that he was a reasonable risk to take to give us a bit of squad depth, and decent squad depth as well. Squad status is a backup, and that's what I was keen to ensue in some of these players, was backup squad status. As many of them as I could, I got on the lowest squad status as possible. Next up, we had Yassine Ouazine, who of course did some wonderful things for us last season. Now, that was pretty much the only reason I brought him back. He's not on a lot of money, but I just felt like I saw something in him, and I wonder if maybe playing as an ultimate backup player could just be useful for us, just giving him a little bit extra. And, you know, if not, then he'll get released at the end of next season instead. I felt that it was worth taking the risk to bring him in. And of course, Mehdi Jean is another one, because we were really lacking centre-backs. And when he left, I noticed that we literally had so few fit centre-backs that were actually any good, that I needed to firstly just make sure that we had some, just in case I couldn't bring any in. Because at that point, I had no idea who we were going to find in our... we found a guy, I think his name was Phil Ball, or something like that. He looked amazing, like genuinely brilliant, and I couldn't believe that he was on the free transfer list. He was 29 years old, but for me he looked amazingly good. Like, he was like 5 stars, and I thought, right, well, we'll get him, because he didn't want that much money. He only wanted like 1,800 a week, so I thought, let's go out and get him. Unfortunately, in the end, he accepted an offer, I think, from Metz, so I can kind of understand why. Probably could offer him a lot more. Now, here comes the good stuff. My scouts had a little bit of time after I'd managed to get them in to bring me some reports, one of which was a report from Croatia, off of which I've signed 2 players. The first of which is this lad. This is Elvis Saric, and again, he's got a first team squad status this time, because for me, look at this though, he's a set piece specialist, and we needed one of those. A bit like I've got Todorovsky in my other save. I wanted one of these for this save, basically, and look at his mental stats. Okay, he's got a few little gaps here and there, but for me, he's a really solid player across the board. He's only 25, so he's still got a decent amount to give, I feel. Like, not in terms of improvement, but, you know, we could get a few good years out of him, and we got him on a 2-year deal, which is awesome. I will need to sort out our corner takers and stuff, but I'll have to do that in the next episode, because I don't want to have to stop this one just for me to do that, because it will take a little bit of time. In fact, no, we'll have a look in a sec. I also want to run you through the tactic, because some of you want to try it out yourselves, and I'm kind of curious to see how that works for you as well. So yeah, Elvis Saric. I may as well show you the other guy. This is Ivan Antolek, also came in from my Croatian scout report. Well, I say scout report. He came in... He wasn't actually on the front page of it, but Elvis Saric was. And then Antolek was at a club, but then he was released and he appeared when I looked for free agents, and we'd obviously scouted him in the same bunch, so I was really happy with this as well. Like, he's more of a backup striker for us, hence his backup status. But for me, he's not a bad player either. He's got a little bit to give. He's only just signed, so his match fitness is a little bit poor at the moment. Next up, we went for some defenders, and this, again, one for the future. This is Rundu Musavu King. I think he's Gambian, if I can remember correctly, or Gabon. Oh no, he's Gabonese. Okay, apologies. But again, he's only 23. He looks like he's got a decent amount of potential to improve. He's going to be playing first team football for us this year, so I expect that he will improve just in this season. You know, he's very, very strong. He's not bad for pace as well, which is nice in a centre-back. He's fairly tall, got good marking, decent heading, decent tackling, the usual sort of things you would expect. His flair's a little low, don't really care. Who needs flair for a centre-back? And he could potentially cover at left-back if we need him to. So he is a solid one. Now, next up, we've got the goalkeeper, Benjamin Sigrist. He's a Swiss international, well, not Swiss international. He has played at youth level, but again, only 23, lots and lots of room to improve. He's only on £1,000 a week. Again, looks like he actually played for Aston Villa for a little while as well. I'm pretty damn happy with him. He does seem to have all the attributes that I want, and also his best role is as a sweeper keeper, so that made me very happy as well. I think we have our sweeper keeper on support, so okay, his first touch and decisions aren't great, but everything else is fairly solid. Acceleration, again, a bit poor. He's not the fastest, but I'm still I don't know, I think he's good. I think he could be better than DeMarcone, and yeah, it's important that we get him. Basically, we needed to sign a goalkeeper. Now, in comes the... right, this is what I was so excited about. It's the first English player, and I don't intend to sign many English players, because I prefer to sign players from around the areas where the club actually is. But this is Dominic Gape, and the chance to sign him was too good to turn down. He's I think he used to play for Southampton, but he was on the free agent market. When he came up, I thought, right, that potential, scout him a bit more, because I always thought, well, you know, maybe the potential's a little bit lying, because sometimes that says really high, and then you'll scout them a bit more and get the actual stats, and then it's a little bit, it'll come down by 2 or 3 stars sometimes, or 2 or 3 points. But his has remained. So, with that in mind, I've just decided to get him in a deal. And fact is, for £1,000 a week, yeah, okay, he's not going to be... He's a hot prospect as well, so he's not going to be expecting to get first-team football constantly. But the fact is, with the injuries we generally get, he will get first-team football. So I'm really happy with him. Next is the sort of most expensive signing of the bunch. This is Didac. He's a not Spanish international. I keep saying that. He's technically a winger there, but that just means he's got decent pace. We're going to probably play him either here or here. Most likely here, because look at his two best roles, shadow striker and advanced playmaker. Perfect for an advanced playmaker. His shadow striking isn't too bad either, though his determination is a little bit low. He's got decent finishing. He's a good dribbler, crossing as well. So if he does roam out wide, he can put good balls in. Good teamwork, good natural fitness. Okay, balance and jumping reach aren't fantastic, but that's not really his type of play. He's the one that's cost us the most, and I'm pleased to get him in. Again, free transfers, lovely stuff. Only 24 years old. I'm thinking he was released by Real Sociedad, perhaps, or someone like that. But hey, doesn't matter because we got him. And last but not least, the reason I had to ship out all these youth players here was because at the time we needed the extra money to bring in this guy here. We couldn't quite facilitate the £3,000 agent fee that was being wanted. So this is Jeremy Aubin, and again, massively happy to bring him in. One for the future again, but I think what we're doing here is we're building a team that's decent enough to keep us up, hopefully now, but also in a season or two will be able to give us a really decent side. That's basically where I'm going with this, essentially. So, without further ado, let's take a little look at the tactics. So some of you guys wanted to actually see more about the tactics, so I'll do a quick pick for the game today. Anyway, let's see who's actually getting to Antolette. It's interesting. Didac Pereira. See, as you can see, where is he? Quintin Pereira, of course. Sorry, I thought it was Dominique Pereira. So yeah, Didac Pereira, Gamiet, Mvia, Traore, Boilion, Musavu King, Puyol, Cantini, and Siglist in goal. But on the bench, Mermilo, they've got Medellin, Saric, Ojembai, and Aubin, and that is a far stronger bench than we've had in recent years, and that makes me very, very happy. That is the sort of the main thing I'm happy about. We've still got some other players to come back. So Shergui isn't back to full match fitness. He's had a few sort of off the ball training. Not accidents, but training injuries, basically. So here's how the tactic lines up. You've obviously seen all this before. So we have counter, structured, and in the instructions, we just have shorter passing, work ball into the box, play out of defence, close down less, lower tempo. That is literally it. As for player instructions, individual ones, the goalkeeper is set to pass it short. Everyone's set to pass it shorter, I think, and take short kicks to the playmaker. Fullbacks, nothing on them, really. Both my centre-backs are set to pass it short. Our defensive midfielder is set to pass it short. Run wide with the ball for both centre midfielders so that they can provide a little bit of false width at times. As for pass it short for both of these two. And then the striker is, again, pass it short. That's literally all we have. As for set pieces, well, you know my set piece instructions, and they can be found in the description to the video. I just want to see if we've got anyone else that can, he's better at these. So we'll just dump Saric in here, because I do want to make sure that we've got a little bit more there. And again, Saric he's on the bench to start this one, so it's not really relevant, but you know what I mean. It's useful to get this sort of thing set up if we can. I don't know if any of our new players are long throw specialists. It wasn't really something I was focusing on. Cantini, someone for the left-hand side. Boilion isn't bad, actually. He's right-footed, but if we can get him on this side, that'd be damn useful. Right, okay, that's all good. So there you go, guys. If you want to try out the tactic, you would have paused it for that stuff, and let me know how you get on. I'm excited, because the day has come, and we're playing against Amiens. And so I couldn't think of it. Like, we're playing late. I don't know why. The fixture got pushed back for some weird reason to a Saturday afternoon. But we'll take it. We are on TV. I think all the games are televised, or it certainly seems like they are. So as you can see, of course, everyone else has already played. Oh no, there's a couple of other teams that are playing tomorrow, I guess, because they're not on the squad thing for today. We just need a good performance. It's a good chance to start the season off well at home against the sort of team that last season we battled with at the top, but in the end got the better of. So I'd like to think that we're going to do okay. Genuinely very happy with the fullback situation. I think we've got two of the best fullbacks we could possibly have. It's still said me to do defensive position, so that's what we've done. We haven't suffered a lot of training injuries in summer, which has been fantastic. I think the step up to fully professional has made a bit of a difference for us in terms of that, and they have managed to eventually get up to code. Sorry, I was watching a couple of the friendlies to make sure that we were looking good, and we were. In fact, one friendly, I think we had like 50 odd shots. Pick the team that fit. Yep. Right, I really hope that we can get off to the best possible start. It's games like this that at the end of the season genuinely could be the difference between us staying up and going down. It is genuinely down to the games like this against the teams that are no doubt going to be around us at the bottom of the league. There's a lot of players making their debuts for us today, so I really do hope to see some good performances from them. basically I went out and I signed players for the exact roles that we have, kind of like what I did on my other saves lately, particularly with these systems. You know, before we had to kind of make do with the best players we could get regardless, but this year I was able to be a bit more picky, had a bit more time to pick and choose them, and I'm hoping that is going to make the difference for us in the long run this year. Cantini, Pereira, I wish I could have got him last summer. He would have been great. Didac, Gamiet. Hopefully we can get a full season out of Gamiet without too many injuries, because that was his main drawback last year. Mvia, and he's done well there. Antolek, there's a ball through if you fancy it. He does. Didac is all the way through, and it is 1-0 to Paris FC, and it's Didac on his debut. That is more like it. If we can start off this season with a win, I will be incredibly happy. And looking at what's happened so far, it's been a bit even actually, but possession and passing is really, really heavily in, which is what I enjoy. Mvia does brilliantly here. Antolech with an absolutely fantastic little ball through there. Goalkeeper probably could have done a lot better actually, but Didac making that run and scoring on his debut for us. Happy days here in Paris. If we can start off the season with a win, I would be ecstatic, particularly against a team that are, in theory, going to be one of our relegation rivals. They've started quite well here, though, but we do have the lead in the match, and that's all that really matters for us currently. You know, they're going to take a little while to bed in, I feel. Some of them are still learning the tactics, but I'm pretty pleased. Although, I can't remember what we did when we played them at home. Like, we lost them away last year by 2-1, and they were brilliant against us. But I can't remember what happened in the home game. I assume we beat them, but I can't imagine it was by an awful lot. If anyone can remember, let me know. I'll have to go check that. But we are winning here, and that's the main thing. Antolek. I was more using him as a sort of potential backup player for us this year, rather than a sort of potential starter, but until Socrier can get himself fit again, and Jalabi's had a couple of injuries too, so at the moment it was useful just to sign someone. Didac round the corner for Antolek. Can he get through? Oh wow, what a shocking effort that was. That should have been 2-0. That opportunity was right. I'm going to set up the substitution next. Who's not looking too good? I'm going to bring on Saric to give him his debut. But you just bear in mind, I am going to call him Elvis. You could not have a player called that and not call him Elvis. Antolek. A little bit of space, but unfortunately the ball has been lost. Oh, come on, defenders. This is a time for our new young defenders to do their job. Musilu. There's a lot of players out there. Come on, don't let him get the cross in. Oh, come on. How many players did that have to go through? Oh, that was insane. The amount of players that ball had to go through to actually get to the back of the net there. Look at the amount of players we've got streaming back. And somehow this ball goes through every single one of them there, and they allow Lopez to score. That is a joke. Come on, guys. You're better than that. It's going to be tough, and we've had they've not even had a decent opportunity in this entire match. All right, Ocean Bai is going to come on. He's not fully match fit yet, but we're going to bring him on as the... Yeah, that's my only real option there. And I'm also going to get Jeremy Oban on for... Yeah, Musafu King, just to get a bit of fresh legs at the back. I can't believe we're drawing this game. We've been the better team, maybe. I don't know, it's pretty even actually, but we've had the better chances, and that's what's frustrating, is that we've done quite well, and to concede a goal like that as well is a bit of a pain. But it's going to take us a little while to bed in, you feel. But a 1-0, oh, please don't let them score a late winner. That would be a gut wrencher. Halcourt. There we go. Saric with a great tackle. Ojan Bayi now. Antolek. I'm not quite sure what he's like for pace. Well, he's done an all right job there. We've got players streaming forward. Ojan Bayi. Villa. Oh, he's missed it. How the... Oh, it's a save. Oh, we've had 3 clear-cut chances and we've only scored 1 goal and they've had none. I'm disappointed to find us in this... Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we got a penalty there. I must say, I'm a little bit disappointed to not win this game. I think we've played well against them here. And this was a chance to get 3 points on the first day against a team that we should be beating this season. Traore, Ojan Bayi. But I feel like... I don't know. I feel this team has got points in it. Out wide to Boalion, such an important player for us. This is not going to lead to anything, of course, because the game is basically done. Riff here. Out wide. It's going to be a 1-1 draw, and it's going to suck because of the chance they've actually had. Was a poor one for us to concede. And we probably should have done better. We've had some really good opportunities in this game, and we need to make sure we put them away. But at least we've avoided defeat on the opening day. I just really would have loved the win against one of our rivals. But who knows? Maybe Amiens are going to have an amazing season as well. Or maybe just have an amazing season. Cleared away. Riff and Sigrist will make the save there, and there we go, 1-1. Paris FC 1, Amiens 1. I must say I'm a little bit disappointed. Yeah, they were unlucky. I think we probably deserved... Stats-wise, yeah, but the chances that we actually had were better than theirs, and we should have done better with ours. That one that fell to him Villa, I would have loved to have seen him really put his foot through that and just use a bit of composure, but it didn't happen. It wasn't to be. We're going to have more games this year as well, I feel, because obviously there's more games in the league because it's a 20-team league. So there's 4 extra league matches, plus we've got the cup as well. I'm thinking for the next episode, probably the Valenciennes game. I don't know. It's hard to tell. We'll know probably better who's going to be in and around us after that episode. So we'll do the Valenciennes game next, since it's a home match, and hopefully we'll have got a couple of points on the board between now and then. But we do have some away games coming up. But we've got another home game against one of the other team that came up with us, and we need to win that. That is a must-win game. Anyway, guys, if you like what you've seen, please do drop a like on the video, and if you've liked it even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Outcaster icons and From the Shadows in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.